Yeah, okay, all right. Let's get it started. Let's talk about Hexa Gear. Um, guys, welcome back to another episode. This is episode 6. For the past few episodes, we have been chatting with Hexa Gear governors from all around the world, from Spain, from the US, from Canada, and right now we're gonna move south of the America continent. And today we have someone very, very special. This guy, I'm a big fan of your work. Ignacio, maybe, do I call you Ignacio or do I call you
Ignacio is okay.
Nacho? Nacho or
Almost everybody calls me Nacho, so you're free to
Nacho?
do that.
Okay, I will just call you Nacho. I think it feels more friendly, Nacho. Okay, so Nacho, you guys can follow him on Instagram at tropical slash gampla, which you guys will see on the screen over here. And I'm gonna attach the link to the description. So let's get this started right away. Nacho, tell us a little bit about your hobby building, like your history, your experience. Have you been building a long time?
Okay. Well, thank you for having on the show. It's really nice to have a conversation about Hexa in modeling in general.
Yeah,
I
thank you. Yeah, yeah, Nacho. Sorry, my bad. Forgot to say thank you so much, for spending your Saturday morning in Costa Rica, right? Really appreciate it to, jump on this and to do this together. And I'm really excited. And one of the things is that, I want to get to know more people around the
Mhm.
world, especially those who are building Hexagear. I want to see like, hey, what's happening, in your community, like is Hexagear big? And we're gonna talk about that later. But first thing first, muchas gracias. Thank you so much for coming on. Okay, on to you.
You're doing fine in Spanish.
Yeah, okay. So here's a fun fact. Okay, here's a fun fact. I used to study in the United States, right? So I used to take 1 year of Spanish. Okay,
Okay.
because during summer break, during summer break, um,
Uh-huh.
I didn't come back to Malaysia, so I was staying there. And one of the requirements for international student is that if you stay there, you have to take a class, you know. So for
Uh-huh.
me, I decided to, hey, you know what? Let me take Spanish because I have a lot of friends who are actually
Mhm.
from, the Central or South America. Like
Oh, really?
one of my best friends, he's from Bogota in Colombia, and I know
Okay.
people from like Peru, like Mexico. So I was like, I'm really intrigued, and I really like their passionate culture. When I think of Latinos, I was like, you guys
Uh-huh.
are like very beautiful culture. It's very colorful. Everything is about passion and yeah. So I decided to take it, but now. I don't speak as much because it's only like 2 semesters, and
Okay.
it's been a long time. But I'm surprised that sometimes I still
But you
remember.
still have some words left, so it's good.
Yeah. So like for example, okay, I remember things like hola, soy Emmanuel, uh, y de Malaysia, or y soy de
That's good.
Malaysia, something like that. You know.
Right. It works. It works.
Yeah, it works. Okay,
So my name
yeah,
is,
Nacho, tell us
you can
something
call
about
me
you.
Nacho.
Yeah, Nacho.
You can call me Nacho. I've been building model kits like since '98. Um, I
Wow.
mostly build Gunpla. Actually,
Mhm.
my social media is Tropical Gunpla. It's
Mm,
because I wanted to highlight the difficulties of building Gunpla outside the main areas. Japan, Asia, and the US, because
mm,
at that time when I started, materials were harder to find. You have to import everything. Things haven't improved that much. Mainstream Gunpla, it's very easy. You can find it in shopping malls, and
yep.
you can find Tamilla supplies
Hmm.
without that much difficulty. But the specialties like Hexagear, almost impossible.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I started by when I was in high school. One of my classmates did airbrushing and build Gunpla. He was the one who plugged me into this. Uh, I I built like 4 or 6 builds a year more or less, so I have a lot of stuff. I have done airliners, I have done cars, bikes, a lot of robots,
Yeah.
way too much robots.
Yeah. Nice.
I've been into Hexa recently. I actually started last year.
In
Um,
2020.
the Loud Deal is the kid that made me pull the plug into the Hexa line
Yeah.
because
Wow,
this
guys,
is something.
check this out. So beautiful, man. Yeah, it's a
Because
custom work.
this is
Mm.
something wild. I mean, this is something that you don't see that often.
Yeah.
Um, it's I know some most of your guests have said that they don't like the robot mode,
Hmm.
but I kind of like its boxy look because it's so strong, so realistic in the sense that it's square and its transformation mechanisms isn't that far fetched. You have something like the Hexagear to power it
Yeah.
because um,
Is that
that
your first? Is that your
huh?
first? What is that your first hexagear kit, the loud gale?
Not exactly, not exactly because the first ones I bought them for Christmas 2019, I think.
Yeah.
I started because my initial idea was that I put the low gate in pre-order, so then
Yeah.
I ordered some governors,
Yeah.
and you know, like it is, you have one governor, and then you need somebody else to be
Of course.
to make an scenario, and then
Yeah. Definitely.
Joker is also a very exciting Exa year for me. I think I love
Yeah.
into the design. Actually, I was very excited when I saw that one in the previews
Mm-hmm.
because I've been covering a kotobukiya for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually started building Koto when they did the Super Road Wars line. I have
Hmm.
a lot of the old kits, the Cybuster, the R1, the Alt Einstein. Uh,
I have no idea what are those because like I'm very new to plastic model kit. I literally started in 2019. I got my first
you won't find those because
yeah.
those were issued in the 2000 ish.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Right.
and Koto doesn't have the license anymore. You see that Bandai is now pulling kits about that line. They just started this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right now I'm just like all about like hexagear and
Yeah.
some action
Well,
figures too. So
the reason I wanted to mention that is because since I used to have a news website about Gunpla
mm-hmm.
and sometimes Gunpla and Mecha in general. And then I did some crossovers with when Koto started to release those kits. I stopped doing the news because there's so many people doing it now, and they have more time than I do, they have
Yeah.
better coverage.
Yeah.
So well, so when I started doing that, then they start branching into the other lines. At that time, they Koto had a model kit line for Armored Core. I don't know if you played that on PlayStation.
No, I don't play that.
Armored
Yeah.
Core is a very famous game. It was about building your own mecha.
Yeah.
You could choose and buy the parts. You have the torso, the head,
Uh-huh.
arms, the legs, and weaponry.
Yeah. Nice.
So you could do a four leg robot with machine gun for arms. You could build a huge um, two leg monster, very heavy with rocket launchers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Kotobukiya tried to do that on plastic modeling. You could buy the kit, then they had the extra parts for the weapons and the accessories.
Yeah.
I had the feeling that that line it gave them the concept to start the modeling support goods. You know, when you buy all the
Yeah.
extra parts.
The MSG for the frame arms or for the hexagear. Yeah, the
Mhm.
extra parts. Yeah.
Then Kotobukiya evolved that into the frame arms, which
Yeah.
was their like, license-free line about robots, where you with the
They
idea
are
of having people customize the robots.
yeah, the one that has the architect as the frame and then you can kind of,
Mhm.
add additional parts to that. Yeah.
Now, I had a frame marketed about like 10 years ago. I haven't figured out what to do with that.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. So like how did you get into hexagear? Especially,
Okay.
you say it's very hard to get, in Costa Rica. So like how
Mhm,
did you get, like what makes you, or what made you decided to, hey, I will try the hexagear, because your background is in Gumpla.
Well, that's what I was coming to,
Mm,
because since I covered all that and saw the accessories, and then I bought some of those for Compla
mm-hmm,
and other things I built. Then I was aware about the kotobukiya transitioning frameworks into this new line called Hexa Gear.
mm.
And the line was pretty wild at the beginning because you have um, the animal mecha and
The Voltrex and the Ray Blade, with
yeah.
the governors.
Mhm. But
Mm.
I haven't been too much into animal mecha. I don't like
Mhm.
Zoids, for example. I
Yeah,
like
same.
humanoid.
Like me. I'm like, I'm not too crazy about those. I'm more towards the military, the more like modern robot,
Mhm,
the mecha kind of design. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm. But I did some when they publish something about news about Hexa coming out, I would share them on my website. And when they
Mhm.
announced the Joker, I said, "Whoa, this looks so wild! I
Yeah.
want to do one and to customize." But
Yeah.
then I saw, but I need a vehicle for him, and none of the vehicles excite me. So,
Mm.
but when the loud deal came over, I said, "No, this is the one."
Yeah. So Loud Gale for you is the one, but you also have the Balcom Alpha, right?
Yep. The thing is that I put the pre-order for the Loud Guild, but because of COVID, it took like forever to come over.
Yeah. Where do you
It was
get your
supposed.
stuff? Where do you
I
where
bought
do you buy?
I bought through a website on the US because of logistics. I sometimes because if there is something very urgent, very important, kit, I buy it directly from Japan and ship it over. But it's so
Mm.
expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
last time I did that, I did it for the I don't know. Have you heard about Super Mini Pla?
Mm-mm.
It's a line from Bandai that they do like candy toys. You buy a box and it comes with smaller sets of smaller kits, and then you build the kits and they combine into one classical super robot.
That's interesting. I have to look it up, and maybe I will put it on this video so people, they know
Okay.
what's
Well,
going.
I have
Yeah.
a few on my Instagram.
Yeah.
When they announced the Gao Geiger, the Genesis Gao Geiger from the King of Braves, I said I have to get this no matter what.
Uh-huh. So you get it from Japan.
uh, yeah, so I bought it directly from Hobby Search. That's one of the pages I like to buy
Yeah.
from.
Not Hobby Link
Uh,
Japan. You try Hobby Link Japan?
I used to do Hobby Link Japan, but the thing is you can change your address, so
Oh, really?
so
Mm,
it's very cumbersome. So
mm.
what I do because of customs is that I bought in Japan, ship them to the US to a mailbox, and then they send it over to here.
Oh, wow, that's quite complicated. So in Costa Rica, like in where you're at right now, they don't have a kotobukiya distributor.
Well, I live in northern Costa Rica. It's a place called Guanacaste. You don't find any hobby store here. No, zero.
Yeah.
I have to go to the capital, to San Jose,
How far is
to
it to
get.
San Jose? It's quite
It's
far.
a 4-hour drive.
Wow. Okay. Do they have kotobukiya store, or at least, some form of,
No, I mean, for example, it depends on what you're looking for.
yeah, for
Bandai,
hexagear.
you can.
Bandai is
uh,
everywhere. I say Bandai, you can get them. They are easily available.
Okay, but okay, here's the thing: you don't get extra year here in the country. I haven't seen in any store.
Wow. Have have you? I'm sure you have asked the store, like what do they say? Do they say they don't carry
I
because?
haven't. I never bothered to do that actually
Mm,
because of the time. So
yeah.
some used to buy online and have it in 3 4 weeks, something like that. So
Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Wow. So it's
yeah,
it's, it's really hard to get from in Costa Rica. You have to order from Japan or order from the States. So it's
see,
very,
for
very
Hexa, Personally, what I do is that I bought it to from a distributor in the U.S. So I
Mm-hmm.
save on the flight from Japan to U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, for example, that super mini placket I was talking about, it was like 4,000 yen. Shipping
Mm-hmm.
was like 4,500. So
Mm. Wow, that's
it gets very prohibitive at the time.
yeah. So what about have you met anyone in Costa Rica who is actually building hexagear? Is there anyone?
Um, I think there were a couple of guys because when I posted the Love Gale in a Gompla group here in Costa Rica,
Mm-hmm.
some of the guys mentioned that they were building some stuff, but I haven't actually meet people.
Yeah. So you are one of the rare uh, governors in Costa Rica. There are not as many.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I guess there are some more of us, but I don't know where.
Yeah,
I
you'll be
haven't
like,
noticed.
yeah, they must be somewhere. And yeah, hopefully, that's why I want to do this because it's so exciting, right? When you find that, hey, yeah, in Costa Rica we have Nacho. I'll always remember, okay, Nacho is the Costa Rica governor. I need to go and talk to him. Because like for Spain, we have to go to Daniel, right? Daniel is like the only person in, probably not the only person, but one of the few, you know. So um so what do you think of Hexagear compared to your Gunpla building experience right now?
Well, it depends. It depends on the way in the way in which you handle the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Because Gunpla gets to a point that you are if you're really into Gundam lore and the Gundam fandom, you're very limited on what you can build because you want something that, in my case, you want something that makes sense in the universe, in the context of the story. And since all the main Gunpla are hero robots, you could probably paint them in a custom color scheme, but kit bashing is not something that you start to build a Franken Gundam and people will cry full and
Yeah, you need more
they don't.
work. This is what I see. A lot of Gundam builders, right? They are really really good even when it comes to customizing. Like they make really neat, very nice, looking Gundam. um but like you say, if you want to do something else, maybe people, they might judge you. I feel like they'd be like, oh, what are you doing to this model kit,
Yeah,
compared to.
yeah,
Mm,
and then there's the thing that there's a limit to how many Astray Gundams, how many Unicorn Gundams, how many Strike Gundams you can see. It's
mm.
everybody builds those. It's very claustrophobic to a point. And when after you have 60 Gundams, you have seen them all.
Yeah, that's true. So for you, did you custom your Gundam as well, or you feel like after you got the Hexa gear, then you want to custom more? Do you feel like it?
No, I've been customizing Kumpla, but not to the point. I mean, it's you, you see guys in Japan so mostly because they remember cost is a very important issue for me because um, when for what I bought the one Gunpla kit, maybe a guy in Japan can get three. So
Yeah.
it's it's very easy for them to sacrifice kits for parts. For me,
Yeah.
it gets very.
Yeah, I totally get that. That's why for me, initially when I started to customize the governor roles, I was very hesitant. But now,
Mhm.
man, I'm just gonna show you what I'm working on right now. You probably have seen this in the social media. So this is the monoceros, right? Over here.
Uh-huh. Oh
The
yeah,
Yeah,
you were
so
doing a contest for the name.
yeah, so what I did was, I'm not sure if y'all can see, there's the gold accent on the plate
Uh-huh,
here.
uh-huh.
That I
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
yeah. So I just got my marker pen, and it's the sharp, the soft tip kind, not the Gundam with the
Uh-huh.
very thick one, So it's a soft tip. From this brand is called Dispia,
Mhm,
DSPIAE, right? So I'm gonna make
mhm.
like a red and gold, kind of governor. For me, I feel like it makes me want to customize my hexagear nowadays. I don't know, man. Maybe you can tell me, is this Does this happen to you after you customize one? You feel like, oh, let me just customize the next one as well.
Well, I totally, when I start an Hexa Gear project, I definitely think about customizing, and I think it's time we talk about this guy.
Yeah, the train. You need to tell us the story, the backstory of the
Okay,
color and also the Costa Rica train thing.
yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Because I had the loud game pre-order, but it took like forever to come.
Yeah.
So I won some money on a raffle at the company, and I
Mhm.
said, heck, I'm going to buy an Hexa Gear. I'm going to buy
Yeah.
something that's on stock and keep it here next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
So I bought the Booker's Alpha Jungle Type. And
Yeah.
you know, the Jungle Type comes with a long rifle and the axe. And
Yes.
I said, that doesn't make sense for a jungle. I mean, the axe is a very long weapon. You
Hmm.
won't go plowing palm trees with an axe. You need something shorter. So I decided to do a machete, you know?
Yeah, the machete. Nice. So, oh, okay. What do you make it from? Is it like clay?
No, it's flat plate. It's a plastic plate. I basically cut the square and then started
Oh, okay.
sanding into shape.
Nice, nice, very nice. What color is? Oh, okay. So you do you do airbrush on this whole thing?
Oh yeah,
Okay, nice. That's
I will.
one skill that I want to. That's one skill that I want to pick up eventually down the road. Because right now, all I did was to just use the Tamiya primer to just spray, and then I just hand paint everything because they are so small. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, that's very tricky because for governors you lose too much time with an airbrush. For
Yes.
example, this one I did hand painting, and you can see it a little bit because
Mm-hmm.
he's really high to the audience.
Yeah. It's on your
Is that
Instagram, right? This is on your Instagram, right? This guy, I'm sure.
oh yeah,
Yeah, maybe I can just slot a picture
okay.
right here. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
Um,
takes time to, wait for them to dry and all of that too. It's a
yeah.
process.
Well, and but I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Some parts are small parts; you have to hand paint them, so it's
Mm,
always something you always have to do. Some
yeah.
weathering tricks are done better with a brush, so it's a skill you really need on this.
Yeah.
Um, sometimes I think that I'm building Exterior the wrong way because if you look at the Japanese fans on
Yeah.
Twitter, they
Yeah.
almost the bulk of the people don't paint the kits because they do it Lego way. You know, they build something, they pull it out, and then building something different, and they keep on doing iterations on the build.
Yeah, which kind of reminds me of what Captain Yun is doing, from Hound Robotics. Like,
Yeah,
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 well,
that guy's my hero.
yeah, so I will be talking to him sometime next month, I think. So he has agreed to come on to the show, so I really appreciate it. And probably he can share with us, some of his inspiration. But man, that guy, he literally buy Balcom Alpha just for the parts and to
I suppose he goes into the store and he comes out with a huge master box with 10 kits in it.
I don't know. But for him, he likes to like. I always see him getting maybe like two Balcom Alpha, and then like
Yeah.
4 weeks later, he will get two again. I was like, maybe you should just buy like 10, because
And,
he just get it for the parts and build really really
yeah,
awesome.
but the fun thing about but I really respect his build because he customizes and he paints, which is not something that you see that often. But the trick with that guy is that
He
all
he
his
cuts.
silhouettes, all his shapes are
Yeah.
so different for mainstream because
Mm.
Um, I tried to customize, but I mean, you recognize this as a Vulcan alpha.
Yeah.
You go look for some of his. He has the legs extensions, the two cockpit thing, and I mean, he takes the line to a different level.
Yeah, definitely. And he drills and cut too. So like for
Hmm.
me, like at least for me, I try not to make it too different or try to destroy the original shape. It's like, okay, if I get this shape, I want to see what I can do with this shape. But for him, if he sees these parts, he's like, I don't like the way it looks like. I'm gonna cut it into half. So he's literally gonna cut it into half and fix it into the governor. I mean
I
the
have done
kits.
I have done that with Gunpla with Hexagear, not at this stage, maybe later.
Yeah,
Well,
eventually. Yeah.
coming back to this fellow, well, I bought them and I said I'm going to have to do this one before the log gate comes over.
Yeah.
So I started thinking and looking into the web to see what other guys were doing, and you see most people um, they did camo patterns and very tank inspired. And actually, you see the official artwork. I think there was um, a camo
The
sand camo.
camouflage. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, well, I mean, I could do the camo. I have done that before, but it won't look like very different. So I start looking about ideas and
Mhm.
say, in the real world, what do you see? What do you see custom? And
Yeah.
then I remember the train, that
Yeah.
the old Costa Rican train.
Yeah.
That one run from the Pacific to San Jose downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's something very cultural in Costa Rica because it was the way for older generations to go to the beach
Mm-hmm.
and see that kind of thing. So I said it's very interesting and very colorful. So I decided to adapt that to a robot.
Yeah.
Um, but I wanted to have some deniability because Costa Rica doesn't have an army. So having
Mm.
building a fighting robot with our flag could be a little bit controversial.
Yeah.
So because if you see the real train, the stripes are bright red, white, and blue. So I
Yeah.
did blood red and gray. You know.
Yeah. A bit different. You don't want it to be like.
Exactly. And then for the legs, I remember that the train at the front has like a safety bumper. So
Yeah.
I decided to paint in that style, and I think it gives a wild look to have
Yeah. Yeah.
the stripe. I use a lot of masking tape for that.
Yeah, but what I do like about this, apart from from what you did, is also the diorama base right there.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, because recently I got into dioramas and try to build some stuff, but I really
Yeah.
like what you did there. So can you like show the diorama
Let
base?
me see. Well, I can send you some picture later if
Ah,
you
okay.
prefer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe it's better. So you make that is that a real train track or you just make everything from scratch?
No, it's actually a scratch, and actually it scrubs. This is a styrofoam.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Oh,
you
that's
take
like
the styrofoam and use a knife to cut out the shapes, and then use
it's a stick.
then I use plaster.
Hmm.
When you build drywall and the filling
Yeah,
you use between the seams,
yeah,
I use a lot of that to give texture to styrofoam, so it gives you the rough idea of a rock.
nice.
When that's dry, I do an acrylic base,
Yeah,
and then I put white glue and sawdust, uh, green sawdust in this case,
yeah.
and the train is made by cardboard. Just cut it
Oh,
into
just
shape.
oh wow. Okay, yeah. So like just trying to be resourceful and using whatever you can find at home, right? I
Yeah,
realized I realized that you like to build the diorama base for each of your
it's. I think it's something important because it gives you a
yeah
little bit of context on what you're building. I
yeah
mean, I needed a rail track in order to fix the concept of the train
yeah
because if you're in Costa Rica, you may realize what the colors are, but some people outside here they saw on Instagram and no connection.
yeah.
So
So
I
to
I
tell a
actually put,
story.
yeah, so I actually put the train picture at the end of the Twitter
Mm,
post because of that. Um, and the idea is that the diorama gives you a little bit of context. I
mm-hmm.
remember a guy um, I read about one of those guys that won a Gunpla contest, saying that doing a model kit and not doing the display base, it's like putting on a suit and not putting on the tie.
That's a good illustration. Yeah. But yeah, so how many hexagear kits have you built so far since you started about?
Well, I have the Lodgale, the Bullcarms,
Uh-huh.
and then I have three governors. Third one is riding the Bullcarm, the Loudgale.
Which one is that?
It's the Moscow man, as you call him.
Oh, the muscle man.
Yeah. Initially, my plan was I had like 1,000 plans for doing the Loudgale.
Yeah.
At the beginning, my concept was, I think somebody on the Facebook group asked about this. That
Mm.
when you start the build, you have like a concept and you have like a backstory for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Uh, my original idea was to put the Joker into the Loudgale, and I wanted to do something. I don't know if you know Kamen Rider Black,
Yeah, definitely.
the really old Showa Kamen Rider,
Yeah.
the one that had car.
The one before RX, right? Is that the Kamen
Yeah,
Rider? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I don't remember it was RX or Black. One of the guys have a car. That was the first time a Kamen Rider got a car. He had a red Beetle inspired
Yeah.
car.
I actually have that, but not with me right now. That was the RX. The
Mhm.
RX. Yeah.
Well, I thought I could do something like that, and I thought the governor it could have a backstory like a Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
It's a guy that was turned into a cyborg, and he
Yeah.
now used that power to fight the
The
evil
evil.
organization.
Yeah.
So I was going to paint the Loud Gear into red colors,
Wow.
and I thought about doing it as a fancy pickup truck with silver tire covers and the
Yeah.
front grill and stuff.
Yeah.
But I said, well, there are two issues with that. First, paint is going to scratch, so it's going to look awful.
Yeah.
And second, this thing doesn't look like a truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
so so I decided to do something that I could use the base color. I know you are not too fond of the desert color.
Yeah. For me, yeah, I'm still waiting and I'm still hoping and I know that I don't want to say I know. I'm just like hoping, eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm,
it's definitely they're going to
you
pull a
you
second version.
think so? You think so?
The real question is, it will be green or it will be Night Stalker's color. That's the only question.
Yeah, because they like to do either desert or and green, just like the booster pack, but they have been rolling out a lot of the forest color scheme. Maybe
Mhm.
maybe they might do that, but again, having built the glance, the bottom glance, I don't really like, the legs with the wheels that you have to. I think it looks to me, I think it looks kind of funny. It's like having a mecha with the roller blade. I don't really like the two wheels on
I,
one
I
leg.
I think it makes sense because it makes for the easier for the mecha to move around. And
Yeah,
if you like older anime, that was a thing back in the 70s.
yeah,
Dugran, Fang is the Fang of the Sun.
yeah,
No, and I think that those old animes inspired a little bit of the design of the Volcarms.
yeah, yeah. So which one is your favorite so far? Of all the ones that you have built, which one is your favorite? If you can pick one.
Loud game.
Okay, I feel like for people who have been watching this, they've been hearing a lot about Loud Gale. I think it came out this year, right? I think it came out in
It in November last year.
November last year. Okay.
Yeah.
I felt like that's like one of the more famous uh model for recent release. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like bull cams, but I think that the shape is a little bit missing because you have the head inside of like the hood. As a mecha, it doesn't look that powerful. But with Loudgale, when you have in the robot mode, ignore the wheels because I know you and Daniel hate the wheels.
Yeah.
And you see some of the guys on Japanese Twitter, they
Yeah.
took the wheels, and
Yeah.
but it has a very strong shape because it's so boxy and so I like the head, for example, what they did with the head gimmick that it opens and it
Yeah.
has the face open mode, the
Yeah. Yeah.
heroic mode.
Yeah. Nice.
That was very exciting. I am actually waiting for Koto to start building some more humanoid. Hexa because if you
Mm-hmm.
think about it, most of the Hexa kits have like a competition. For example, you have the Acme range, and then you have the Windfall for
Yeah.
the Liberty Alliance. You
Mm-hmm.
see the Voltrex, and then it has the what the Liger Blade, the clone,
Which one?
the, um, the one that comes in the Master Boot Record,
Ah, the Ray Blade. Ah,
the Ray Blade. Yeah, I always
yeah.
confused with
The
the
impulse.
Liger blades.
Yeah, because they are two impulse. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so most of the kids have like a competition version, but you see the bullcams, there's no posing two-legged robot mecha.
Yeah. That's a good point because I feel like they are actually building off of the previous one. Like you have the alpha and then you have the
Mhm.
beta, right? So they are like very, very similar. I guess the loud gale is like the updated version of the glance, I
Well,
think.
actually, if you read the backstory, it's like the pirate version.
The previous version.
No, no, the
Oh,
pirate version. So
okay.
I don't know how much you read about the backstory. I
I
read them.
actually I'm not very familiar with the lore or the story, but I know there's a person who knows the story, and I'm actually getting him on the show as well to maybe to share with us too. But you're familiar, I suppose.
Well, I read the official website through Google Translate because I don't speak Japanese, so
Yeah, of course.
I have a vague idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Bullcarms was built by a specific company, and
Mhm.
then one of the competitors tried to do a hero mecha, and he did the Bullcarm lens
Mm.
with the transforming into the race car.
Yeah.
And people in the story it says that people didn't take him seriously, but he had some very good improvements in speed
Yeah.
uh, and range,
Yeah.
and it became popular with some governors.
Yeah.
So then, when you read the backstory about the Loud Gale, it says that it's used that nobody knows who built that thing, but
Yeah.
it used a lot of the technology of the glands, the
Yeah.
transformation mechanism.
Which makes
But it
sense.
totally.
Yeah.
But it says that the construction was more rough. It was like they didn't have all the tools, they didn't have all the technology to do it, so they did a crude version of it.
Yeah.
So it's like a Mad Max version of the glands, you know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Are you looking forward for any kits or anything that you are buying, you think?
Well, I have the pre-order for the new Voltrex. I don't remember the name of this
The
one.
the the,
It's
the Wrath something. The Night Stalker version kind of. Wrath something like that.
um, yeah,
It's the
I had
dark
a
blue one, right?
no. It's no. It's actually gray. It's like a Voltrex but with asteroids. It has the legs are different. The
Hmm.
weapon payload is different.
What color
So
is it?
I
Is the blue one, right? Is it the dark blue? That one?
no. It's gray.
It's gray. Is it the two in one? No.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
It's a
no.
new one. Hmm.
It's for pre-order. It comes out in November, I think.
Really, I have to look it up because I know that so far for this year, um, there's the forest version of the Lord Impulse that comes with the
Yeah.
A1 Governor. I know that's coming out, and also like a couple of those Night Stalker
Yeah, this is.
series. Yeah.
I think that COVID caused a lot of trouble for manufacturing kotobukiya, so they decided to do recolors for this year.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually I think the reasons that they are reproducing a lot of the older ones, but I feel
Mhm.
but I kind of I want to see more from them in a way. I'm not sure whether the release is it like a good pace or are they usually slower because I'm really not sure. I know comparing to the armored puppets, do you have any armored puppets?
No,
The
no, I haven't.
Yeah, because they or they release a lot of new things and
Mm.
different things. But for me, Hexagear, they are releasing almost like the same thing and quite
Well,
kind of, yeah.
well, I think I think it's a bit about logistics because
Mm.
I understand that the armored copper is manufactured in China
Yeah,
and
sure.
kotobukiya is based in Japan, but
Hmm.
they manufacture everything in mainland China. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that they make the molds in Japan and then send them to China. And I used to
Hmm.
work in plastic manufacturing.
Oh,
I
okay.
bought raw materials for plastic containers, plastic
Hmm.
gallons,
Hmm.
pails, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about plastic manufacturing. And when you start to with a new tool set, with a new mold, you have to do a lot of quality check-ins, a lot of
Mm.
checking on the pressure of the machine, the setup, and
Yeah.
everything. So I'm guessing that because of COVID, they don't they can get Japanese people into the China plant to do
Yeah.
that issues. So what they decided was to pull out the Night Stalker storyline and fill that while they get things ready.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I hope that, maybe next year for 2022, they have more new things, uh, you know, in store. Especially, I really hope that, with this pandemic and everything, everyone, stay safer, stay healthy. And I do want to see more of the Hexagear designs because there are a lot of competitions right now when it comes to 1/24th scale kits, you know, especially from China. I feel like they are producing things like very fast, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, what I really like about 124 lines is that everybody's pulling something really unique. I mean, it's not like they're just copy pasting
Mm-hmm. Because they
because
want like a
the armor,
competition.
yeah,
Mm.
the armor kits have a very specific look to them. They're like more robotic and they have a nice look. But I'm personally, I'm not getting into that line because
Mm.
as I don't have that much time to build and I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that much money because of that. As
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said,
It's
getting
hard
kids
to
here
get.
is complicated. So I'm trying to focus on next year.
Yeah.
I really like about the line is that it's totally unexpected what they're going to come up next when they released the Weird Tales kit.
Mm.
It was like nothing before that.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I like about Hexagear is they are always um coming out with, I wouldn't say always, but when they release new things, you know that you will get something that you have not seen before. You'll be like, oh,
Exactly.
especially with the track down, with the two dogs that they are coming out, at end of the
Oh
year.
yeah, I want to get one of those.
Yeah, so for me, um I'm definitely getting those, and I'm gonna get the Joker too because you can add on with that governor and make something with it.
Yeah.
For me,
I
I
see,
don't have.
I see a lot of guys on Twitter doing things with a Joker, doing animalistic builds. They
Hmm.
took two Jokers and then make like a wolf thing,
Yeah.
and they combine it a lot with the other small animal, snake side, I think it's called,
Ah,
like the
yeah. Yeah, for me, I don't have the sneak side as well. Because it doesn't come colored, right? Because when I was just starting, when I get a hexagear, I want it to be colored, So, but right now, I started to customize. I'm more open to, getting like the humanoid gesture and also the sneak side and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you get the head controversy, right? And I saw your poll the other day on Twitter that if you want pre-painted governors or not.
Yeah. Do you know what is the results? Let me.
I haven't seen the results yet, but
Yes,
I
let,
can.
let me just let me just pull out the results right now because I was so surprised, right? Because I thought that a lot of people on Twitter, when it comes to hexagear, they are actually Japanese, right? I feel like Japanese they use a lot of Twitter, and then um 90% of the people voted that they prefer a pre-painted face.
And it makes sense because painting faces is way too hard.
Yeah. But again, I've seen some people with really good works. I don't know how they do it. Probably have the 10x kind of, lens to look at the face and paint it.
Yeah, yeah, but I heard that some of them use toothpicks for painting the details.
Yeah. For me, just trying to get parts of the main body, it's hard enough. So I was like, maybe I would try it with one of the governor's face, especially for the white rabbit, since it comes with a couple of the faces. I might try it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we can wrap it up. Is there anything else? It's a good chat today, Nacho. I really appreciate, and especially hearing the backstory of the glance and the loud gale. It's something new for me to learn, and also looking at your build with the diorama base, and it's just very interesting, when you listen to the story of other people.
Yeah,
Nacho,
and that's
Nacho.
the beauty of the hobby because everybody has their own way of doing things and how they interpret the things, and it gives a lot of diversity.
Mhm,
And what I would like to see forward is to have that sense of community about people talking about why they did things one way or the other, to 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 explaining about their process and stuff, because that way
mhm.
everybody learns and everybody improves. And it's so I think it's good for a hobby.
Yeah, definitely. I think even for me, when I try to customize the colors, when it comes to color scheme, I would go and see, is there any like cool characters, that I like from video games or from comics that I can be inspired, or just go on Twitter. When you look at when you follow other hobby builders and then you're inspired from their work, it helps you to want to do something. And I think,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I think that by getting together just to talk about Hexagear, and Hexagear is a very very new line, right? It's about to turn 4 in September, right? So
Mhm.
definitely, based on what I have built so far since the very first governor, because I have the A1 Parapon governor. So that was like the first, and the
Mhm.
Sentinel 1.0, that was also the first. And now I'm building like the Warmich Hetzer. So I can see that within 1, 2, or 3 years, they have made a lot of improvement to um to their kits. So it's definitely very exciting for the future. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think Kotobukiya has a lot of surprise for Hexa Gear.
Mm, definitely, definitely. All right, Nacho, I think we can wrap it up. I just want to say again, thank you so much, muchas gracias for coming onto this show, spending your Saturday. Um, yeah, I think I will continue talk to you on Twitter, social media, stuff like that.
Okay, sure, sure. Always happy to talk to fellow governors.
All right,
Take care. See you around.
okay, all right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, Nacho. Ciao, bye bye.
Bye bye.